All right, man. We are live, man. Welcome to another segment of Talking Sports with Manny. On this little segment that I'm going to break down, I'm going to break down the game four results between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Houston Rockets. So let's go ahead and dive into these highlights real quick. Give me a moment. All right, so the game was amazing. This was a game that the Lakers actually needed. LeBron was hyped up. So was AD. So here's LeBron going against PJ Tucker. I'm glad that the Lakers were able to take advantage of their size. THT came in with 5 quick points, played some pretty good defense versus James Harden. Actually, look at this move right here. Filet, loved it, man. This guy was explosive. He was ready for that moment, and hopefully the Lakers have found something. Man, Caruso had 16 big points. Man, I'm proud of his tenacity this game. LeBron played tough, like I said. Look at that. That was crazy, crazy. So while people were watching football, I was watching the Lakers game. I did watch a little bit of the football game. Look at that pass. Look at that. And one. Mm, just beautiful ball movement between the entire unit. Look at that. Man, I got to give it to Rondo, man. Playoff Rondo is an actual thing. Then he was able to make open shots. You're going to win if Rondo's making open shots. Look at this. Oh, man. Oh, man. The Rockets were not motivated until the last 5 minutes of the game. You know, they cut the lead down to as little as five, I believe. 5 point game right here. Caruso pretty much iced the game. And this was wild. Rondo's wild. Why would you throw that? Why would you throw that pass, man? Rajon Rondo is wild. I swear. I swear. So those are the highlights. Lakers won a big game. That was a big, big, big game for the Lakers. I'm going to share my screen one more time. I want to kind of get into the box score, talk just a little bit more. All right, so you guys can see in this game, the Lakers decided to go with Markeith Morris. And, he shot 4 for 10, 40% from the field, hit 1 3. He had 9 points, 4 rebounds. Not a great game, but that's pretty solid. I mean, that's more than JaVale McGee would have given you. And Markeith's defense and quickness definitely did help. AD, 10 for 18 from the field. He hit 9 for 9 free throws, 12 rebounds. And AD said after the game that he didn't like his rotations on defense, and he also said that he was not as aggressive as he would have liked to be. So that's just shows great leadership for AD taking up for himself. LeBron James had 16 points. So if you told me that LeBron would have 16 points and the Lakers win by 10, I would have said, you know what, you're crazy. So, it's just amazing. The team really, really, really stepped up. He shot 7 for 17 from the field. He was 0 for 5 from 3. He had 15 rebounds, he had 9 assists, 2 steals. And I thought this was the game that he had all those blocks. That was actually the last game. He just went crazy. Danny Green had a decent game, 40% from 3, 10 points. If you get 10 points out of Danny Green, you're probably going to win because he's not been consistent. He's not been good at all during this whole playoff run. So Danny Green with 10 points, KCP 10 points. People were, talking about KCP saying that every time he shoots is a brick. But, at the end of the day, he shot 4 for 6 from the field and 10 points, hit 2 for 3 from 3. So, that's as solid as it comes. Kuzma did not have a good game offensively, but he was moving his feet and he was hustling on defense. So I cannot knock Kuzma. Rajon Rondo has just been amazing the last 2 games. 11 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. So literally almost a triple-double coming off the bench. You can't beat that. So if Rajon Rondo continues to play this way, they're going to be a tough out. Then he was making shots. If Rajon Rondo's making shots, man, the Lakers are going to be unstoppable. And then Caruso comes in with 30 minutes and gives you 16 points, He gives you 3 rebounds, two assists, a steal, 2 blocks, 2 big blocks. He had 2 big blocks. I think one of them for sure was on James Harden. So if Caruso's giving you all of this, I mean, it just bodes well for you. Lakers are dominant. Not sure who in the East will have a chance. Yeah, Lakers are dominant, but at the same time, the East is pretty tough, man. I'm looking at teams like the Celtics. They match up well against the Lakers. They have a center from Germany, Theus. Theus is quick enough to guard AD, but not strong enough. So Celtics will be tough. Teams that have 2 really good wings, Lakers always struggle with those teams. Like, for example, the Clippers and the Celtics play a similar style. If you look at the Celtics, they have what's his name, Jaylen Brown and Tatum. Those are 2 really big wings, so that creates problems because the Lakers' wings outside of LeBron, you have a guy like KCP or Danny Green. They're long, but they're not necessarily tall or even stocky or strong. So Celtics have a chance. Toronto has a chance. Miami has a chance. All 3 of those teams play a certain style. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but those 3 teams do match up pretty well, pretty well. So, back to this box score real quick. We look at what the Rockets have done. The Rockets, they continue to play the small ball where they have PJ Tucker in the game as a center. So he played 33 minutes. He had 0 points. That's a problem. Those corner threes that he normally knocks down were not happening. And not only that, he got into a little bit of foul trouble. He had 4 fouls. You have a guy like Covington, 3 points. That cannot happen. You need more out of Covington, both defensively and offensively. Then you have Westbrook, who actually played well with 25 points, but then his impact, he didn't have that impact. His 25 was a different 25. It's not your typical 25 that you would get from Westbrook. It's true. Lakers can go big or small. Yeah, Lakers can go big or small. And that's been a pretty good thing for them. My boy is here on my screen. He is not having it. He's not having it. But yeah, Lakers can play big or small. When they go small, you have the guys like Kuzma and Markieff Morris who come in, and then when they go big with either Dwight or what's his name, JaVale, it just bodes well for them. So it's pretty awesome that the Lakers can go 2 different styles. So I really like that. James Harden, man, this guy only made 2 field goals. He made 2 field goals. He was 2 for 11 from the field. That can't happen. How many games do the Rockets win if James Harden only makes 2 field goals? Now, he did get to the free throw line. He got to the free throw line 20 times, and he made 16 of them. So at the end of the day, he ended up with 21 points. So if I told you that James Harden will make 2 buckets but get 21 points, you would not believe me. So that's a crazy stat. Lakers were able to double team this guy. He had 10 assists. He should have had 20 assists. If the Rockets were able to make shots, he would have had at least 20 assists. But that didn't happen. So we played our hand, and we were able to make James Harden work for every single bucket and every single opportunity. A guy that has played well for the Rockets has been Jeff Green. Jeff Green is playing some awesome ball. Now, he had 9 points. He had 7 rebounds, and Austin Rivers had 14 points, but his points were not impactful at all. So coming down to game 5, we're going to see what happens. Lakers have to close this thing out in 5 because the Clippers might close it out tonight. So you don't want the Clippers to have any more rest than the Lakers would. So they're watching what the Clippers do, but not really. They're focused on the Rockets, but at the same time, in the back of their eye, they're looking at the Clippers. Now, that series is going to be tough. But the thing about the Clippers is that they only have one big guy, and that's Zubac. If Zubac gets into foul trouble, and you bring in Montrezl Harrell, he can't hold AD. Nobody really on the Clippers can hold AD. But what they can do is they can put a guy like Kawhi or even Paul George and make AD dribble. He'll try to back these guys down, but a lot of times you see that guys like Kawhi or even Paul George, they're good perimeter defenders. So they're going to kind of put some guys on AD. They're going to kind of put guys like Jermichael Green. So pretty much anybody the Clippers can put on AD, it's not going to work. He can face up. He can play big. He can play, inside, outside. So we're going to see what happens, man, with that matchup. LeBron is going to be LeBron. Clippers do have a lot of guys who defend. But what I'm starting to see is that the Clippers have been struggling with their defense. You see them struggle with guys in the Denver series. guys in the Maverick series. Now the Lakers don't have anybody of that caliber that creates. But if Rondo keeps playing the way that he's playing, it is going to be a fun series. So just kind of wanted to get on here, man, and kind of break down this Lakers game. I'm excited for this next game come Saturday night, and I'm glad that it's on Saturday night and not Sunday night because I will be watching football all Sunday. So hope you guys enjoy this thing. Hey, be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can kind of get my videos when I go live or when I post something. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Y'all be safe. Y'all be blessed.